Hi everyone. Welcome to the Brand Positioning Strategy Socratic Dialogue. Have you ever wondered why you chose, say, a detergent like Rin over a detergent like Ghadi? But are you the one who are making these decisions, or is it the company who is somehow framing themselves in a way that you make such choices? To discuss more about this and to understand how brand positioning can affect a company, we have our budding leaders to present their pitches on brand positioning. So, which one of the teams would like to introduce themselves first? And you can also just quickly mention why you named your team this way.
Sure.
Which of the teams is going?
Yeah, we can go ahead. So, hi everyone. This is Purva, and I'm currently working as a growth hacker at Deep Thought. I'll introduce the team name once everyone has introduced themselves.
Hello everyone, I am Anjika Garg and I am working as a UI designer at Deep Thought.
Hi, myself Tanmay Varkund. I'm working as a DIR in Deep Thought.
Hello everyone, Anjali here. I am working as a behavioral data analyst at Deep Thought.
Hi everyone, Mitali here. I work as an industrial organizational psychologist at Deep Thought.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gaurav Padya and I am a student unicorn from Deep Thought.
Thank you so much, teammates. And Tushar, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, hello guys. I'm Tushar. I'm a product manager and a leader at Deep Thought. I'm working on developing some SaaS products that can help people become more capable. So yeah, looking forward to this, SD.
Thank you, Tushar. And hi, everybody. I'm Samita. I'm also an industrial organization psychologist at Deep Thought. And I never thought that brand positioning will be relevant to my life, but it has made me understand strategy and how to manage an organization much better. So without further ado, would the first team like to introduce why they named themselves Team Kotler?
Sure, Samita. Thank you. So Philip Kotler is known as father of modern marketing. So, we chose this name because marketing and branding go hand in hand. So, we wanted to understand the branding. Branding is basically who you are, but marketing is how you build your brand. So that is why we chose Philip Kotler. He's also a celebrated professor at Harvard University.
Very interesting pitch, Team Kotler. And we also have a jury member, which is one of the main important figures of Deep Thought and JSMIS. So, Sir Bhargav Krishna, would you please like to introduce yourself? Sir Bhargav?
Yeah, Samita, your audio is a little low. Yeah, go on. Yes.
Sorry, I was asking you to introduce yourself, please.
Right. Hi everyone. I'm Bhargav. I am a product enthusiast. I've also briefly associated with Deep Thought for its marketing wing. I'm currently co-founder of two products that we are working with. One is Just Sign and another is Euclid. So I mostly take part in their marketing and business development initiatives. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So now I think we can go ahead with the pitch for the first team. So which one of the teams would like to take the initiative?
Before that, would the other team like to, let us know why you have named yourself as such?
Yes, sure. Was waiting for that. Thanks, Tushar. So our team name Safe Saver. Saver as in when you hear it's food. Safe is in protecting. So to know more about it, just wait for our pitch. That's what our team is focusing on. It's protecting your food.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, teams, for your very interesting explanations of the names and leaving us a little bit in suspense as well. So which one of the teams would like to pitch first?
I think our team can go first. I'll just be
Sure,
silent.
Ranjita.
So,
Purva,
yeah. So we have come up with a product that will help the parents to safeguard their children while giving the best education. So now, how we are doing that and what we are doing. Before we go to that, what is the story? Why this came in? So, these days, lots of parents are, more concerned about their child's safety. As in, what happens if my child goes out? What happens if my child is, has done something? Is he gets something while he's out there, which is given in today's world. So that is why we have come up with this product where we promise to take care of every child's well-being in all the aspects. One, your physical aspect, because your child is at home. Two, your mental aspect, because if the child feels home, he'll obviously feel safe. Three, because three, your educational safety, because what we are doing is we are saying that we are having such technology which will ensure that you are the custodian of your own child's education.
Yeah.
Tanvi?
Our business intent is regarding the educational quality, tech-driven innovation, and parental engagement. So by educational quality, we mean like we intend to give them a high quality education for the things which they are learning about first. Secondly, by tech-driven innovation, we mean that they learn about what I want to say, like they engage themselves in the new technology and learn about the concept which they are learning about. Second, and third is parental engagement. By that we means like parents monitor the children's growth and progress which they are learning and all.
To talk about the problem statement, so the problem is that especially for households where both the parents are working, right? Parents don't have that much time to actually go and tutor their kids. Also, if they're sending their kids outside, right, then it raises that issue of safety, and it also is difficult for the parent to keep tabs on what is the learning journey and what is the growth of that child. So that was a problem statement.
So some values that we are giving to the parents as well as the students are transparency, educational safety, and mental peace for the parents. So how we are building the transparency is that because the parent will be in control of what who's going to teach his child, what the child is going to be taught, and the dashboard, we'll have a dashboard where we are basically telling them this is what your child learned. So that is how we are creating the transparency. Then we are creating the educational safety by empowering the parents and students in such a way that we are replicating the entire tab on which we are going to teach the students. We are going to make that entire tab replicated in an app whose access only the parents will have or the guardians will have. Then the third is mental peace for the parents. So if the parents knows everything, and if the parents knows everything what is happening with the child, obviously the parent will be at the peace, because for the parents, the biggest asset they have is the student, is their children.
So talking further about the solution, and to put it very simply, and to cater to the physical, mental, and educational safety. Basically, there will be an interface which will be on the laptop, and the tutor will be teaching. Then the child will have their iPad or their tablet wherein they will be writing whatever the tutor has told, and it will be integrated with the tutor system. So the tutor can see whatever the child is writing and monitor what they are doing. While the parent will also have access to what the teacher is teaching and what the student is writing, so that they have that mental peace that, and it's like a live CCTV surveillance of their education. So that is what we are catering to, and hence we are affecting the physical, mental, and educational safety of the child. So, in conclusion, Scholastic takes pride in providing a holistic approach to education by ensuring that the physical, mental, and educational safety of every child is met. Thank you.
Thank you, team Kotler. Would the other team like to go ahead with their questions?
Okay, if I may barge in before the other team goes ahead, right? Just I want to ask just one or two questions to make sure that the clarity on the pitch is achieved. Can the team Coulter please mention the one phrase that you're using to describe your brand? How are you positioning your brand? What is that phrase you're using?
Yeah, so the phrase that we are using is guiding every step, guarding every moment. This is for parents for their child.
Okay, and how is the phrase conveying the unique solution that you had talked about?
So most of the time that a student spends is while studying, is at school. I mean, most of the time as in 8 hours, 9 hours of their time. Now, instead of going school, they are in their safe space, which is their home. And from there, they are, they are being procured by the parents whenever the parents want to, not only by being physically there, but also on their mobile phones itself. So that ensures that we are guarding their every moment. And because the parents are choosing their own tutors, they are making sure that the students are being guided properly, or their children are being guided properly.
Okay, one final question. How are you making sure that the brand positioning statement that you came up with is good to convey what you're trying to convey? Because what happens is organizations spend millions of or billions of dollars, just to get that one phrase, right? So I'm assuming that you guys do not do that. So how are you ensuring the effectiveness of your statement?
Basically, our plan is the things which the student is learning, he will be having a tab, and there'll be a replication of the exact UI and the things which he's saying in the parent's phone or laptop, so that they can keep a check like what my child is learning, and they can also have the progress report about all those stuff.
Then I'm sorry
So
to
whenever
interrupt, but I think the question was misunderstood.
Right. You did not answer my question. I'm not talking about the product. I'm talking about the statement. So you guys came up with the statement, which was guiding every step, guiding every moment, right? How do you make sure that that statement that you came up with is effective?
Yeah. So Tushar, right now, I mean, in today's world, every parent is concerned about A, is their child educated, and B, because no longer are the days where people are producing 8 to 10 children. So right now, if it's one child, they want to protect them at every moment. So we are targeting this mindset of the parent. So I hope this answers your question.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Purva. The other team, please go ahead with your questions.
Okay, what is the age group child parents are you targeting?
So it will basically be for children who are in class 1 to class 5.
Any follow-ups to that question? Okay. Any other questions, Team Safe?
Yeah.
Okay. Team Safe, before you go ahead, Mitali, was the question asked if there's no follow-up?
Yes. No follow-up, I think.
No, I mean, why was that question asked if there was no follow-up? Like, I mean, what was the intention of knowing the customer
Right
age?
now, there's no follow-up. So I asked the question to understand what like to which community are they going to position their product?
And why do you need to know that?
To understand, because I feel that to position a brand to a certain community, the brand positioning differs depending on which community are we targeting.
Team Safe Server, please go ahead with your question. Anjali, you were going ahead, right?
Yes. So I just wanted to know how your product is going to stand out, and also how are you going to, make sure the kids are safe with the tablets or, the tech products that you will be using compared to the other tutors, physical tutors. How is it going to be, on a better end?
Yeah, so if we compare it with physical tutors, right, Anjali, you can't, I mean, you either need to be, as a parent, you either need to be there physically to monitor that.
We do have CCTV, so that
Yeah, I was
what is
expecting that.
I mean, I'm
But
just
still you can't, yeah, I was expecting that, but still you can't focus so much into, every part of book, what is the child writing. But here we are replicating the app itself in that, in the parent's phone, so that, I mean, app as in the tablet itself, so that if, if even if the student or the child is turning a page or changing the subject, the parent will be able to see it.
a follow-up question to that. So let's say I am conducting a physical tuition, and then I am preparing my model in such a way that I have the tablets, which has all these facilities that your product is offering. And also now I'm creating a physical environment wherein kids are able to interact with other children. Now, in such a situation, how your product can compete with that kind of a because there are, I mean, I'm not stating just for question purpose, but there are such places, tuitions that is coming up. So how can you compete to, or how can you stand uniquely to that market?
Yeah. Tushar, you wanted to add something or say something? Can I go
No,
ahead?
please go ahead.
Yeah, Anjika, you have an answer. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I think there we are also focusing on one more thing, right? The safety factor. That if you're going physically to an unknown place, right, where there are people who you don't trust that well compared to your household, right, then there comes the safety factor, because in today's world, as Puzwa mentioned, you want your kid to be safe. So if you are in that online platform, you are able to see what the kid is learning exactly, right? And there's this safety factor basically.
Okay, again a follow-up question to that. Sorry, guys. So now there is hacking. Anytime anything can get hacked. How can safety be a promising factor in your product because of the hacking and everything?
Yeah. So basically, Anjali, what we are trying to do is, I mean, yes, of course, hacking is something that needs to be taken in consideration. So what we are trying to do is we are creating that app to have, those safety measures. Now, what they can be from tech perspective is something that, we might have to go in more details, which we haven't.
Okay. Now again, my question is still, not. It's partially answered that you are providing the technology and you're having safety as a important thing. But again, safety is a question in virtual world as well. So that we established, and hence my question is partially answered. Yeah, I would like to discuss more. Going ahead with further questions.
Yeah. So Anjali, just to add something, it's always a comparative safety that we can talk about, right? While kids go out, you might have to send someone with them or equip them with a phone so that they can, you can contact them. Again, that there's, virtual, you're lacking virtual safety again there.
Yes.
Then the second is the physical safety, because the environment you don't know. Even if you say that the teacher will or the tutor will come home,
Yes.
still, that
Safety is
a
a
lot of
question.
things are happening. So
Yes.
you don't
And
know
that's
what's
exactly
what
what I would like to know from your brand, how you place yourself uniquely.
So comparatively, we are reducing the risk. But yes, to establish this fact, the entire safety is something that, in this world where hacking has become like a piece of cake. We may not be able to provide them with the, entire safe environment.
So you are stating that your product is not safe now.
No, our product is safe. We are taking all the measures. So basically, Anjali, I'm trying to say that we are reducing the risk,
Okay. There is a
reducing the unsafe feeling that a student or a parent may have.
my question again, it's partially answered. I still want to know how uniquely you can place. Yes, Gaurav.
Okay, let's have Anjali's question answered first before Gaurav goes ahead. Team Kotler, can you please clarify how you're going to uniquely position your brand? And right now, can we also talk about, from, let's say I'm a customer, how am I knowing that you are doing all this, right? That's what I think Anjali wants to know. I'm a customer, how do I know that you are uniquely, safeguarding my, education, whatever?
Yes, exactly. Thanks, Tushar, for that addition. So yes.
Yeah. Anjika or Tanmay, would you want to go ahead?
Sure. So, of course, if we want to market it, right, we want to position ourselves, we would use social media and advertising. But coming back to our tagline, right, guiding every step, guarding every moment. So, as we mentioned, that our main focus is more on the ability to see the progress of your child, and also the safety factor in itself, because right now like we would want that to be what we want to showcase as a brand. So that is how we will be showcasing ourselves. Does that answer your question?
Anjali, simply put, we are giving them a replica of their child's tablet. What else? How else they can ensure their child's own safety?
And basically the fear that they have in their mind, we are just catering to the fear and we are providing a solution for that, right?
Okay. I hope that answered your question, Anjali. It's more about the perception that they're forming for the parents, right? So now, in the interest of time,
Yeah, I get it. Just to, end my point here, again, to create that kind of a perception that our product is going to do that compared to other physical, is going to be, something that will come up when you start marketing. So
conveying the safety aspect as well. Okay. So we can move to the next round, right? Bhargav sir, would you like to go ahead with your questions?
Not now. Let's move on to the next round.
Okay. So in the meantime, I think Gaurav had one question, so he can quickly ask that, and then maybe we can do the audience questions. Gaurav, you can ask your question. Yeah.
Okay, my question was, what are the strategies that you are going to use to bring the parents to your to your website, especially when they are concerned with the engagement of the phones, because the engagement with phones has a issue with health and mental also. And in your speech, you mentioned that you are solving the mental and the health. So can you just elaborate on that, the strategies?
So I think there is no strategy required, because when you're using the tablet, when you're writing whatever the tutor has asked you to, the tablet will only open that particular application where you can write it. You can't open other things in itself. So there is no point that you'll be distracted or you'll be something like that.
I'd just like to clarify. Okay, Purva, did you get the question exactly? It's the physical aspect. So, eyes using specs.
Yes,
So
I understood that.
I
Yeah.
read about that.
So
Yeah.
another thing that we could do is we could keep a phone lock timer. I mean tab lock timer in the tab, right? I mean the student can only, or the child can only use the phone from, let's say, 8 in the morning to one in the afternoon, then he can directly use it in the evening. That is 2 hours or 3 hours to complete it, to do the self-study. So that can be done. Introducing the tab lock timer.
Does that answer your question?
Okay, it partially does because parents are mostly concerned with the health of their children, especially when they're in the terms of mentality. Because right now we see that the parents are mainly focusing that they're saying that the phones are destroying the children. So in that era, how are you going to bring the education to the parents that they should use this, especially to the target audience you are like targeting?
Yeah,
They
so
want the
as-
student to be more engaged in the with physical instant.
Yeah, so as we said, if they are not, if they cannot open their phone, open their tab apart from that given particular time, that means they have rest of the time to go and explore physically, right? Apart from that, the screens that the tabs will have will also be those screens which are student friendly, child friendly.
Okay, Gaurav, does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, Mitali also had a question, I think so. Please do go ahead.
Yeah, just a follow-up. What if the parents consider that their child are more safe with a person rather than just a device? How will you convince the parents to use your device, your app?
So, okay, Anjika or Tanmay, anyone would want to go ahead?
You can take it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so Mitali, to answer this, it's like,
I think
like
they're not our target audience as such, right? Our target is the people who don't have such people that they can rely on, because generally people don't have teachers in their circle which they can come to their house, they rely on their relatives, or they trust them completely. And if that is that is not our market. Our market is to the people who are working full time and they don't have people who they can trust on, and those people can take out the time to come to their whole homes and teach the students, right?
Okay, let's say they don't have anyone, but they hire a person because they only feel that the person is more safe than any device. So how will
okay,
you convince them?
yeah. So,
But why do you think that they would feel that a person is safer than a device?
Okay, that is a thing with a lot of parents, right? Tutors are a common thing, and going to coaching institutes, having that one-on-one interaction is like a common thing for school circles, right? So I think Mitali's question makes sense. Plus, if you do plan to expand in terms of market segments, then again, like, how are you going to position yourself in a way that you communicate your brand and technology's importance to the parents?
So Samida, here, the brand is giving upper hand to the parents, and who wouldn't like the upper hand? It's then if this is the case, it depends on it goes to the marketing team, how the marketing team is marketing this thing, that you are getting the upper hand rather than relying on any other source.
Yes, Mitali.
A follow-up, you mentioned the parents are getting the upper hand. So as you mentioned earlier, this product is for people who whose parents, like child's parents who are both are working, right? So they don't have the time to look at all this. So in that case, would they not just hire a person to look after their child?
Mitali, to cross question, the people who are usually working are educated ones, right? So they themselves have an idea that what they want the education system to look like. So if that's the case, the parent would be concerned about the child's education. We are talking about the educated parents.
Makes sense. But what if their approach is different? Would you be targeting them?
What is their approach that you're saying?
Yeah, a follow-up question to that, like the target audience differs parent to parent. How exactly is your strategy going to be to target all these different types of parents out there?
Yeah. So Mitali, to answer your question first, we, those parents may not be our early target customers, but eventually, yes, they'll be our target customers where we would want to, give them that trust, build a trust for them that yes, even though you're thinking that, someone outside may be better, but you yourself are the better ones. So, I think this gives out a beautiful strategy also for Anjali's follow-up question, that we empower the parents that you are the ones who can take the best decisions for your child. Why rely on others? Are you not bold enough to take
Exactly.
those
And
responsibilities?
that kind of answers my first question. I wanted you guys to just answer it. Thanks.
Okay, great. Thank you for the interesting questions, Anjali. Is there any follow-up? We can quickly have a follow-up and then go to the next part.
It does answer, but I would like to question it anyway. So what is the soul of your product, or what is that major value aspect of your product?
Anjali, I think that's a different question, right? We just wanted to finish up with this thread.
Okay. Yeah, it's a different thread.
Right. Let's go to the questions that the audience asked, right? Tushar, would you like to
Samita, we
mention?
don't have questions from audience. We do, but we'll not go ahead with it since you don't have time. Let's move to the next
All
one.
right. Okay, sure. Bhargav, did you have any questions?
No, let's move on to next.
All right. Okay, would the other team like to go ahead with the pitch? Team Safe Saver.
Yes, absolutely. So hi everyone. This is Team Safe Saver. I'll present my slide. Hope this is visible. Over to you, Gaurav.
So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We Team Saver have a question for you. Okay, when did you check your fridge last time? You know it. The fruits, the vegetables are getting spoiled, which you have purchased last week. It is same case with everybody. Lots of get food spoiled after a period of time, leading to food wastage. We offer a sustainable solution for this problem by increasing the food preservation standard. We see a business opportunity. People are throwing foods, later spending more money in buying fresh veggies and fruits.
Okay, so as you might have seen from a highlight of the story, that how food, spending much on food and how food gets spoiled can lead to so much of food wastage, and then it leads to so much of big landfills which will harm our environment. And for this, we came up with a solution to offer a sustainable packaging and sustainable food preservation solution which can reduce waste and which can save our food, like sustain our food for a longer period of time.
So coming to our values, again, it says sustainability at low cost. What exactly is the low cost? We'll discuss. Reducing the food waste, which we understood in the previous explanation. The unique solution that we bring is decomposable airtight seal bags. So in the market as of now, there are many airtight seal bags which helps you to preserve the food, but which is plastic. So how exactly we position ourselves uniquely is by bringing up decomposable packet, which therein helps in the environment friendliness and also sustainable packets. Seal flavor with Safe Saver. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Team Safe Saver, for presenting. Would Team Kotler like to go ahead with their questions?
Yeah, sure. So Anjali, or the team, sorry. What do you mean by sustainability and of food, and why do you need that?
Gaurav, would you like to answer that question?
Okay, for sure. If you look at in today's markets, raw food like mangoes, if you purchase them, they get spoiled after a few periods only. But we provide a sustainable solutions. We have a packaging that is vacuum sealer, that is a special kind of made vacuum. If you put your mangoes in that, it would increase the lifespan of that mango. And the period, okay, just imagine your like mango was of 2 days, like it would get rotten. Now it will not get rotten in 2 days. The lifespan of the mango would increase.
Does that answer the question, Purva? Again, adding to Gaurav's point. So we are having food at our homes. We are buying vegetable. Let's say I buy a vegetable today, and then I keep it in the refrigerator and use it maybe by next week or after, 7 days or more than that. By that time, there are high chances that the product or the vegetables get, spoiled. Even though you keep it in refrigerators, it's a fact that many of the products do get spoiled even in refrigerator. So refrigerator is also not able to bring that, problem solved, which our brand is going to solve that problem. And thus helping you cut the cost on the extra vegetables and fruits that you buy later on.
Okay.
Before
Yeah.
Purva continues, Team SafeServer, can I please request you to keep your answers brief? Please do not redundantly, answer your question, right? If one point is conveyed, please let them question. We want a dialogue to happen.
Sure.
Purva, please go ahead.
But I mean, this answered what sustainability of food is, but why is still not answered? Why do you need sustainability of food?
Why do we need the sustainability of food? Again,
I had mentioned the part about food get
cost.
rotten easily, right? So was there anything else specifically that you wanted answered, Purva?
No, I mean, it may get rotten easily, but isn't eating the fresh fruits or vegetables more healthier than having that sustainability?
That's exactly what our brand is putting up, right? We are providing the foods and fruits which is fresh for a longer time. And that too at a lower cost, because now you don't have to buy again and again. You already have the fresh fruits and vegetables at your disposal.
Right. Got your point, actually. Purva, does that answer?
No, because
What is not answered, Purva?
yeah, because fresh, they have kept it fresh for longer time, but they're like, they're not picking it up fresh every day, right? So there's a
Right. So Anjali, doesn't that contradict the definition of freshness itself? If you're keeping something for 1 week, how is it fresh for 1 week?
Okay.
Dali, please go. Okay.
I'll
Anjali.
explain the product here. What happens in an airtight sealed package, basically air and microbes around in the moisture basically is, minimized in the products, the food products and the fruits that is sealed in an airtight container. And the longevity of the fruits and vegetables increases thereby. So basically, avoiding the air moisture content in the air reacting with the food products.
Okay. Team Kotler, any question on their brand poisoning strategy?
I have a new thread.
Purva, you
Can I
had a follow-up?
quickly ask a follow-up? So you mentioned sustainability as part of your brand positioning, right? How are you a lot of people, when they think of sustainability, the first thing that comes into their mind is more related to, environment or like being environment conscious. As a business, how can you make sure that your policies are around environment? So how are you making sure that that is not the first thing that's coming to people's mind? How are you communicating that sustainability is for food?
Sustainability for the food, is that the question? Okay, 2 points here. One is, which we discussed in the slide, the landfill. The food, once without even using up, even smallest part of it, it's directly going to waste, causing the landfill. Another point, to make these things fresh, we are using plastic items.
Sorry, my question was more about how are you making sure that the customers perceive your sustainability related to the food and not related to some business, environment, policy kind of stuff.
Okay, so for that, I'll have to explain our marketing strategy. What our marketing strategy is going to be majorly word of mouth. And at the same time, we are also helping people get the first image by having them provided with the cookery, recipe book as complimentary. So what happens when we attach this cooking recipe book is that they get the image that we are talking about food itself and how this food is going to be used for, whatever recipe that you want to create. So this is one of the strategies that we have to attract more customers. Another thing, as I said, word of mouth among the women, working women. So we will be targeting office going women so that we will discuss the food is getting spoiled in your refrigerator, right? And that is very, main problem for most of the people. And just, directly targeting to that problem will solve.
Makes sense. Thank you, Anjali. My question was answered. Someone wanted to start a different thread, right?
Yeah, just a clarification that your decomposable packaging, right, and the already existing airtight containers, the only difference is that yours is decomposable, right?
Correct. Yes. that
Okay.
is.
So the problem the problem that you mentioned was that the food is not being fresh and it is going in non-decomposable packets and hence causing the landfills. But so where does the freshness and everything comes? Because there is already an existing product in the market which are providing the airtight thing. Your only solution is that it is decomposable, right? So where does that?
Yes, Gaurav, would you like to answer?
I think you got the wrong thread. Our target is to maintain the qualities of the nutrition of the food as it was at the early stages. We are not like saying that there are already products which are exactly in the market, but our product has the highest lifespan and also the it is decomposable, so it is eco-friendly also.
Okay, guys, can let us look at it from brand positioning strategy, right? Gaurav, whatever you mentioned, how are you conveying that? Are you just you can't just go ahead and say this to everyone, right? So what are some of the strategies that you're using to mention whatever you just did?
Yes. Can I answer that question? So eco-friendly and sustainability is a very, used words or jargons. So as of now in the, world, and we will exactly target on that word and, say that I know you are using some plastic products, but do you know how it happens? It harms these things. And exactly, just the propaganda to be communicated about environmental friendly products and also at a cheaper cost is what we'll be communicating, because we are able to recycle the bags, which plastic people are not able to. So our product is going to be cheaper.
So, but wait, your marketing strategy was word of mouth, right? How are you making sure that in word of mouth all of this is being
No.
conveyed?
I mean, of course, we will use the social media, because we will target the working women through social media, Instagram and everything. I know who will be working and put the advertisements. Like, targeting a particular age, let's say 25 to 40 or 50, those people.
So why would working women care about sustainability? Why wouldn't they just buy the plastic things?
Why working women is the question that I would like to answer. Working women are educated and learned and know sustainability is important. So
in general, everybody who is educated knows about sustainability. Then why are you just targeting?
the second point that I already explained, ours is a cheaper product compared to the other plastic people, which, they are not able to recycle their own product and they have to spend more to buy more plastic.
But the thing comes, right, it's airtight, so you don't have to throw it once after use, right? You can use it again and again. No?
But all the plastic has a time period, max they can recycle and reuse it up to 7 times only, and the number will also be there in those plastic items.
So what is your time period?
Our time period is, that's what, endless. And even though if you're using it one time and throwing it, there is not much, impact on the environment, because we are able to reuse or, make it again on a easier level.
Quick clarification that they are able to use it more than 7 times compared to plastic. Like they can use it endlessly, your product.
It depends. So basically, they can use it endlessly, yes, because it is not harming them. First of all, the main point. Okay, I got another point. Thanks, guys. So another point is plastic items has chemicals in it. So if you're keeping your food and fruits in it, the health impact is also something that we can focus to communicate the sustainability in term.
Okay, answers my question.
Okay. I think this the team's round has gone ahead for some time. Bhargav sir, would you like to ask any questions?
Right, yeah. So I would want to ask, what if you have to give a tagline to your business, what would it communicate?
So one tagline that we thought of and we mentioned in the presentation is seal flavor with safe savor.
Okay.
Again, what is
the
that
top-
communication?
So initially the target is to, make sure your products doesn't get rotten, doesn't get spoiled, and the flavors are intact. That is what we communicate with this tagline. I know the sustainability part is not communicated, but on the, MVP model, this is what we try to communicate.
And what is your, if I have to ask, the topmost USP, the topmost? What is that you would communicate?
It is going to be the product, freshness, making it intact.
Compared to the existing products in the market, how long would your product enhance the freshness?
The product freshness will be enhanced on a similar way because both is airtight seal packages. But how exactly we will do that is by actually explaining them the story behind it. The plastics that they use for air seal containers and the non-plastic that we provide. I hope I was audible.
Right. Again, go back to your, what is your topmost USP?
It's making your food and vegetable and fruits shelf life longer by providing them an airtight seal packages.
Others are the other products in the market doing the same?
Yes, they are doing, but they are doing with plastic bags. So what we bring here change is we are providing non-plastic compostable bags.
Right. So your USP is you're doing what others are doing, but you'd want to say that you're doing it in an eco-friendly way.
Yes, and a healthier way, more healthier way, I would say, because there is no plastic item involved.
So if I'm a customer, I would be concerned about, why I should be purchasing it. Forget, if I'm environmental conscious or not, because if you have to make everyone environmental conscious, that happens at a different cost. You have to educate them, you have to commit them into becoming environment friendly, right? How would you want to do that?
Yes. Anybody would like to answer the question? I think I've been answering a lot. So if you guys want to, please go ahead, or else I can take it up.
Please go ahead, Gaurav.
Okay, we are not only just making it eco-friendly, but also we are reducing the cost as compared to the market prices.
Cost. See, I think as a customer, I would be concerned about that, right? I mean, instantly, if you want to sell a clean energy or, sustainable or eco-friendly items, it's more about awareness or activism for that matter from the client end. You would want the customers to be, proactive in that particular space. But if you talk about a cost-effective solution plus eco-friendly, that would attract them instantly. So it goes back to my question of what is your topmost USP? Is it cost effectiveness, or if you have to choose between cost effectiveness or eco-friendly, what would it be in your communication strategy?
Yeah, Gaurav.
Yeah, Gaurav.
So we would like to go with the eco-friendly because our target audience is the working women. So since they are working, they must be educated. And today we are seeing that their scenario is of eco-friendly situations that have been created because people are now less uses of plastic. We can see it, and we are assuming that there will be a number of plastic will be also decreased.
Yes,
Right.
I would like
You
to
have made
add
a
to it.
choice. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, yes, sir. So actually the choice is also depending on the target audience. Let's say now we are targeting a educated women, then the environment friendliness comes into bigger picture. If we are targeting any retail shops that is in the rural areas, then the price aspect comes. So according to our target audience, we will be flexible enough to, position ourselves.
No, you can't change your target audience and then, I mean, you first have to land on who is your target audience and then devise your communication.
Yes. So
Right?
the
It can't change, right? I mean, based on target audience, you would change your communication, can't be the way. So you
it's
have to land on who are your target audience.
it's not the communication exactly, but the word that goes out at first when I see a product. If for different customers, their perception can be different. For example, if I like something for its color, somebody might like for its smell or its perfume. So understanding that and then accordingly strategizing the marketing plan is what I was trying to say. The main aspect is going to be not plastic, protecting the food.
Bhargav, sir, you're on mute.
Okay, sorry. So now your USP is protecting food, but not environment, eco-friendly.
It's not
It
plastic,
changed.
so it's eco-friendly.
Right, it is eco-friendly. It's still eco-friendly.
It's not plastic and protecting the food.
No, I mean, I want you to pick one, the topmost.
The topmost is, in a word, sustainable product packaging.
Again, see, don't play with the words. I mean, is it eco-friendly or is it longevity of the product or cost effectiveness? What way are you benefiting the client and
I'd
customer?
like to counter this. So almost all the products as of now in the market is trying to become eco-friendly, but at the end they are trying to solve a problem. So my
Right,
target
Gaurav,
is to solve the problem. Yeah, Gaurav. Gaurav, your hands.
Okay. Sir, you asked like, what do you choose? We would choose the longer lifespan because our story was based on the problem we are solving is the food wastage problem. So we would stay with our problem statement only that we would increase the lifespan of food.
See, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Your problem statement started with solving the problem of food wastage. Right? I mean, improving its longevity. I mean, your problem statement, your problem statement should connect with the USP. And your USP should connect with the communication that you're trying to make. And your target group. So in all of this, eco-friendly is not the first element that you are trying to project. It's about longevity and it's about, increasing the shelf life of a product. By that, why are you doing it? Do you want it to make, do you want the customers to have a greater advantage of being able to use the product over a longer time so that they don't have to waste the food? Or is it, for the cause of the world or greater cause of the world that it is eco-friendly? So this is where I think there is a shift between stand is overall. So again, to conclude it, you started with eco-friendly as a stand and then went back to saying that, it's about longevity of the product. It is about giving that advantage to the customer to utilize a single product for a longer time.
So yes, your question is clear. So I'd like to answer this in a way that, of course, our solution is to protect the food and increase the longevity of the food items, increase its shelf life. But the another strategy or another problem statement comes is we already have few people in the market. We already have few competitors. And the only strategy that we have is to uniquely position ourselves by stating it's eco-friendly as well. Does that answer?
Right. I mean, you're saying you're using eco-friendly because you want to position yourself uniquely.
Yes.
Do you agree with that approach, Gaurav?
Yes, sir, to stand out, I think we must have something special that we can compete with the competitors. So I think yes, but our main target is solving the main problem. That is what the longevity of the problem.
Right, yeah, that's it from my end. Thank you, Anjali and Gaurav.
Thanks a lot, Bhargav. So that was really interesting questions. I really had to, brainstorm a lot. So thanks.
Okay, thank you, sir. Tushar, are there any questions from the audience?
No, what the live SG participants can do is like after DST, they can go to live and then answer the questions there, right? We don't have time, so let us end this round.
All right, sure. So we can go ahead with the reflections now, if that's okay. So the team can give their reflections. And Bhargav sir, would you like to go to the jury room and then maybe you can score the teams based on the scorecard?
Yeah, would someone join me there?
Yeah, I'll shift you to that room.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Samita, you can join him and guide him through the scorecard.
Yes.
Okay, meanwhile, the participants, would you guys like to go ahead and reflect? What insights did you gather? If you can point them out.
I want to go ahead.
Please
So
do.
as the questioning answering session between Anjali and Bhargav sir made me realize that how is it important to bring something new to position yourself as unique, or can we also position yourself unique with the existing products? Like even if you are doing the same thing as others, is it really important to bring that different element, or can you do it with whatever you have? So I think the communication strategy matters a lot here. So that was one insight I gathered.
Oh, brilliant insight. Thank you for that, Mitali. Anyone else would like to go ahead?
I'd like to add to Mitali's point. Again, this question and answer series made me realize about how it's important to differentiate different aspects of your product and accordingly plan out how do you want to. You cannot mix up everything and state that you are this, you are that. That kind of, makes people confused. So going with your first solution, and then later on, maybe adding up to it or strategizing a different way to go ahead with the other USPs. So that was my realization, having a proper differentiation between all the USPs.
Great. Thank you, Anjali. Anyone else? Gaurav.
Okay, today I got like lots of insight, but one insight I got was when we were having the conversation between the lifespan and the eco-friendly. Okay, that time when we were having conversation, I got the points of Tarun sir, like he told that, okay, problem statement is what we are solving out, but as an organization, we have to survive also. For survival, I think using the word eco or eco-friendly is a good word, is a good way to survive in this industry. Because for problem solving, we need to survive for a longer period of time. And that insight I got, and also the way we are communicating the things, like if we are differentiating, also it matters a lot when we are communicating in proper way, so that the people can understand it. So that was my insight.
Interesting. Thank you, Gaurav. Anjika, would you like to?
Yeah. So adding on to what everybody said, right? One insight was that maybe you're trying to solve a bigger problem, but many people are trying to solve that problem. So while you have that in your back of your mind, you might be putting in front one of the major features that would prompt the users to actually use your product and hence solve that bigger issue that your company is trying to achieve, right? So first, to enter the market, you can always use that strategy and then build up on your values. So yeah, that was my reflection.
Great insight. Thank you for saying that, Anjika. Tanmay, would you like to as well?
So yeah, so one of the reflections like which I got, like for your important part is a USP. To have the clarity like regarding your product. At the same time, your top priority should be like, what are you trying to sell to the client at the first place? So in my opposition team, like the product was regarding the food wastage, but the main USP was like the freshness intact. but the point which they're going around was regarding eco-friendly, which cleared out after some time. So the USP was the main part, which was a highlight for me.
Interesting. Thank you for saying that. And may I also just say an insight of me. So there was this point that Bhargav mentioned, right? How you can't change your communication strategy based on your changing target audience. So it's better to have one defined target audience, what you want to target, and then go ahead with defining a communication strategy, right? Not changing it over and over again. Also, Anjali was talking about the MVP, right? So like when we are building the MVP, I think this point becomes like 100 times more important, right? If for the MVP itself, we are thinking of changing target audience, then wow, that's not a good idea, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And also, I got another thing which was sort of like a framework, right? Like everyone mentioned that. So Bhargav was talking about this thing, this flow that you can have. Like when you're trying to convey something to people, first convey what the, like have clarity on what the problem statement is. Once the problem statement is clarified, how are you uniquely solving that problem, that USP, right? That becomes important. Be clear with that, and then connect it with your communication strategies that you have, right? And then go ahead and communicate it. And it's stage, there could be certain metrics that could be used to measure the effectiveness or the quality of the things that we are doing. So that was like an interesting insight that we lectured. Mintali, you wanted to, Anjali, you want to say something first?
No, I just wanted to say thanks for bringing that point. I think in the MVP, just the initial USP itself communicating is enough. So
Yeah. Sure. Mintali, go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to mention one more thing, which was when Anjali was questioning Purva. Purva came up with a solution on the spot. So it was like listening carefully to even the question so that you get the insights to capture the solutions.
Great. Great. So I think everyone is done with the reflection. So let us, while Bhargav and Samita join us back, let us have one question from the audience, right? Any one of you can go ahead and answer, right? So there was this question asked by Artuha Paul, right? She asked, would you partner up with big grocery shops or malls to use your product for their grocery section, to use it as a branding strategy? Do you want me to reiterate the question? I'll put it in the chat box as well, and I'll just reiterate. Yeah, sorry, Anjali.
no, Gaurav or Mitali, would anybody would like to answer that question? So the question is like, will we target them as an audience?
Okay, so I'll just reiterate the question, right? Would you like to partner up? Like, could one of your strategies be partnering up with some huge, grocery stores or malls and use their product, for their, okay, use your product for their grocery section. Like, let's say that I sell my product with, let's say, Zara, or with, let's say, Nike or something, right? So when people are buying their product, so if they see my product with my branding will go up, right? So what are your thoughts about this? Gaurav, if you'd like to go ahead first, please do.
Okay, as long as they are not interfering with the problem statement, we are ready to go. And the problem statement is that to stop wastage of food. And since we will be like collaborating with the grocery shops, then we will be like, if we will be happy to go with that.
No, sure. I don't think that exactly answers the question, right? Like, we know that your problem statement is that you want to increase the longevity of the product of food that you have, right? And your product is doing that, right? But let's say that you are selling your product in a huge mall that exists in, let's say, one of the biggest cities and stuff, right? How would that affect, your branding strategy? Anyone can quickly mention, and then we can go ahead with the other reflections. Okay, just to give a context to Samita and Bhargav, there was this question that someone asked on an audience asked Artuha. She asked, if you would want to use your product, and like if you would want to sell your product in some huge, with some huge other company, right? Like, for example, I'm selling my product with, let's say, Nike, right? Would it give me some advantage, right? That was the question that they had. So what are your thoughts, guys? Yeah, go ahead, please.
So I think like if I'm joining up with a company which is bigger than me and which has a good reputation, that means like the company is trusting me. So the bigger company which I'm combining with can also trust me because the company which is combining with me is also having trust. So now it helping me for branding myself because a lot of companies also brand about like we have combined with these companies and work. So definitely it will help the company. Does it
Okay.
answer the question?
Yeah, it does. Sure. Thank you for that, Tanmay. So yeah.
Just before we go ahead, Bhargav had some questions that he quickly wanted to ask. So please do go ahead, sir.
I'll just take a minute. The team one, I could not ask any questions back then, but my line of question would still be same. The team one, what would be your USP? You know, the most top USP of your particular product.
Anshika, you want to go? Should I go?
You can try.
You are going?
Go ahead, Tanmay.
So product is regarding more about like parents can keep a progress report and whatever the things like it's actually a replicate of what the student tab has. So that's our USP exactly. Like it can be monitored anytime and at the same time it's a plus pointer. Like it can see the progress report of all the things.
So basically to monitor the learning of the students is a USP.
Right. So monitor the learning of the student on
Yes.
real-time basis.
Yes.
Okay. It is academic, fully academic.
Yep.
Okay. Right.
Academic
So
in
that's,
sense?
you're tracking their academic track, right?
Yeah, whatever they're writing, whatever the tutor is asking them to write, and whatever they're writing and showing to the tutor, the parent can see in real time as to what interaction their child is having with the tutor, and after that, there's also a dashboard where they can see the weekly progress or the monthly progress of their child. So we are focusing on tracking the learnability of the child.
Okay. And who are your target audience?
Our target audience is basically parents of the kids who are from class 1 to class 5.
1 to 5.
Yeah. The primary
And
section.
how would they track this data? I mean, who is going to enter this data in this particular?
So the basic concept is that there will be an iPad or a tablet on which the student writes with a stylus, like you write on a notebook, and whatever you're writing on that tablet, that is seen real time on the monitor of the tutor as well as the parent. So you can monitor it there.
Who is the tutor here? Is this I mean, you are providing the tutor as part of your product?
Yes.
How many hours would a tutor would engage with the student on a day-to-day basis?
So the tutor, right? They are also one of our stakeholders. So it is upon the parent again. The parent can choose how many hours of education they want for the kids, and it's more flexible. Like we haven't touched upon the details of the thing.
Right. Okay. At least an hour per day is what I mean. So the reason why I asked that question is the concern of the parent would be like, why would I mean? Now parents would have this concern of screen time, right? I mean, considering that you will have to answer their question based on would it be long or would it be friendly to their right. So one last question here would be, see, if I have to ask you, what would be the tagline of your product?
So we have a tagline which says guiding every step, guarding every moment.
Right. And why are you, one final question, why are you capping at 5th standard? Why not go beyond 5th standard?
When we look at our competitors, right, they usually have those online courses and people start preparing for JEE and all those competitive exams from class 6. So there's less need of tuition, but more competitors in the market, as well as people start preparing for the further exams, right? And here we do not want to do that. We want to focus more on the tutoring part.
Right. At least I appreciate the clarity that you have continued from the beginning of what's your problem statement to how are you communicating it? Yes, that sounds appropriate. Yeah. Those are my questions. Samita.
Thank you, Bhargav sir. So since we're done with the reflections, right, would you like to give feedback to the teams now that you have gotten a better idea of the scoring?
Right. So the intent here is not to judge the product. That's because you are just, you have just come up with an idea for the sake of this dialogue. So putting that aside, I see there is a clear, I see better clarity in how team 2, this is team 1, right? So Anjali's team of this product to the parents that you're offering. I definitely see that, when you position your product clearly, position your product clearly, it would be easier for you to communicate this entire value proposition to your customers. And even your customers would not be confused around why I'm taking this product. I mean, there is a specific need and you are only catering to that need. If they would want it, they would take it. And if they are not interested, they would just pass it on. So that way, I definitely see that your target audience is fixed, your problem statement is fixed, your communication strategy is also appropriate. I think it's all in a sync. So that way you understood brand positioning appropriately is what I could feel at this point. The product around this eco-friendly, or sustainability or longevity of the food. I think there is a little confusion, but from my questions, I definitely see that you have gained clarity on what you would want to, what problem are you addressing and how are you communicating it and who are your target audience. I still think your target audience are not fully clear, but yeah, you have taken a stand and said that educated women or working women are your target audience, which is fine. It's just that what are you prioritizing? Is it nature or is it, your customers' need of having that particular product where they can have a, increased shelf life of a particular product? So there I saw a small confusion, but ultimately Gaurav took a stand and said something around it's about longevity of the product. I think that is making sense. Right, yeah. Just to conclude, I would say that, if you have that clarity of what problem are you solving and who are your target group and how are you communicating, that makes it easier for you to get more traction and of the data set. Yeah, that's it from my end.
Thank you so much, sir. So we are, I think, done with this dialogue now. I hope the teams got more clarity about brand positioning and were able to understand and work on the feedback in the future. Thank you everyone for joining in. I hope you guys enjoyed the dialogue and we got some very interesting insights from both Bhargav sir and the kind of replies that the teammates give. So thank you, team Safe Saver and team Kotler, for your very interesting insights.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bhargav.